Respected elders, educationists, dear teachers, and dear students, welcome. Dear students and elders, in this second speech of mine, we are going to see the theories regarding the formation of the universe and the living beings on the earth. What are the concepts which uh, religions followed by various kinds of people? Tell us what are the various kinds of religions tell us about the formation of the universe and the living beings on the earth. Here, I have taken into account the four main religions, even though thousands of religions are followed in the world. The four main religions Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and Hinduism. I have taken to talk about these four religions. See, what are the views of or the concept of these four religions about the formation of the universe and living beings and what are the contradictions between the theory of evaluation and the theory of creation? All the religions, particularly these four religions, they are based on the concept of creation. Yeah, in my second speech, about the four religions. Today I am going to read about Christianity. Now, it is the greatest religion followed in the world. Most of the peoples throughout the world are following Christianity. So today we are going to see what the Old Testament and the New Testaments of Christianity tell us about the formation of the universe and the living beings on the earth. Come, let us see them. This social equality, I mean, social equality, uh, as letter A in the alphabet proceeds, nature in the world lives. Tirukkural, couplet 1. A for languages and nature for beings or mother. A for languages and nature for beings or mothers. Speech 2. Christianity, the concept of origin of universe and living beings. Video 2, dated 19 2024. Old Testament, Genesis chapter 1. The first book of Moses called Genesis. It is here. Dear students, dear teachers, and educationists, and respected elders. In the Old Testament, in the first chapter, the birth of the universe and living beings are explained as it feels. Let us see them. What the Old Testament tells about the creation of the universe and living beings on the earth. One, in the beginning, God created heaven and the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Respected elders, dear students, see, in the first five, five facts, in the first five lines, it is told that is God created heaven and earth. First, the God created heaven and earth. The earth was without form and void, and it was covered with full of water. And there was, and at the bottom, it was fully dark. Now God created light, and He called the light day, and the darkness night. Now the first day comes to end. That is, in the first day of His creation, God creates heaven and earth. Earth is without form and it is full of water and darkness. So God creates lights and names the light day and the darkness night. Now the first day comes to the first day of creation by God comes to end. Then in the second day, He God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. That is, the first day God created heaven and earth. And then he saw that it was full of darkness. So he created light. And then he named the light as the day and the darkness as night. On the second day, he creates. I mean, says on the second day, he create a space between the waters. It is the earth is full of waters and darkness. On the second day, God creates a space between the water. Now he divides the water into two parts. One part of water stands above the space. Another part of water stands under the space. Now he calls water standing above the space as heaven. It is on the second day, God divide the waters into two parts, creating a space between them. He calls the waters standing above the space as heaven. Now the second days of creation comes to end. Then that day begins. God starts with creation on third day. You see, and God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called the seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after this kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. So, dear students and elders and my dear teachers, it is on the third day of the creation, God orders the waters being on the entire earth, orders the waters to gather in a particular place. And the water gathers in a particular place. And a dry land appear. A dry land appears. Now God calls the dry land as earth, and the gathering of waters cease. So on the third day, God creates seas and earth. I mean, the dry land of the earth. On the third day, God creates seas and the dry lands of earth. And also on the third day, He creates grass, small plants, and fruit yielding trees on the earth, on the land. On the third day, again, on the third day, God creates seas and dry land. That is, God orders the waters to gather in a particular place. And they gather waters, gather in a particular place. He calls the gathering of the waters as sea. Now a dry land appears. He calls it as earth. Then he creates grass, small plants, and fruit yielding trees on the earth. Now the third day of creation comes to an end. Now then the creation of fourth day starts. Like what things are going to happen on the fourth day. God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for sign, signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Dear students, teachers, and elders, on the fourth day of creation, God wanted to divide the day and night, to differentiate day and night. So he created two great lights. One was greater, one was lesser. The greater light ruled the day, the lesser light ruled the night. It is the greater light is nothing but the sun. The lesser light is nothing but the, and then he also created thousands of stars also on the fourth day. It is on the fourth day God created the sun, the moon, stars. The sun was created to rule the day. The moon was created to rule the night. And also many stars were created. Now the fourth day of creation comes to an end. Now the fifth day, then also, my dear students, on the fourth day, besides the creation of the day, the sun and the earth, and the sun and the moons, uh, God creates grass, small plants, fruit yielding trees on the earth. On the fourth day, God creates the sun, the moon, and stars, and also the greens, that is the plants. The grass, small plants, and fruit yielding trees all are produced on the earth. So the fourth day of creation comes to an end. Then the fifth, then the the creation of fifth day starts. On the fifth day, you see, God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. The evening and the morning were the fifth day. Respected elders, educationists, teachers, and dear students, on the fifth day, God created, that is, the living things living in water. That is like fish and other living beings living in water, and birds, all kind of birds flying in the sky. So on the fifth day, God created living beings living in water and birds, winged fowls, fowl and birds. These two kinds, creatures God created on fifth day. Then on the sixth day of creation, let us see. On the sixth day of creation, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Then 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, created he him, male and female, created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and uh, replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over everything, every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, because I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life. I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made. And because it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Dear students, elders, educationists, teaching community, you see, on the sixth day of creation, God created. That is creepers. That is creepers, the creeping on the earth, and all wild and mild animals. If the day first created creepers, then all wild and mild animals. And then God created man in his image. That is, God created man who looked like God in image. That is, God created male and female on the seventh day. That is, first creatures creeping on the earth, then all animals, wild and mild, and then lastly, man was created by God. Then God told his son and daughter, I have created all sorts of grease, that is, earth seeds, herbs, all sorts of herbs producing seeds, fruits, producing trees, and also with them. You can take meat, fish, fowl, and everything. You can take as your food, and also you can have the domination over them. You can rule them. I give you the authority to rule all the moving, all the non-moving and moving living things. You can have, and also you can have them as your. You can take them as your own. As your own. This, this is the first 6 days of creation of God, as told by the Old Testament. First day created earth and heaven. And also, as there was a darkness, the light was created, and light was named as a day, and the night darkness was named as a daughter. Night. First day. The second day, the waters was divided into two parts. The water standing above the space was named as heaven. It was the second day creation. It was the work of the second day. And the third day, we create to say, God, come and add out the waters standing under the space together in a particular place, and he called it sea. And the space created, and the space, the triland created, he called the earth. And then he created, grass and small plants and fruit-giving trees, etc. These trees, the greens, trees, etc. He created on that day. On fourth day, God created particularly. He wants to differentiate day and night. So he created two great stars, two big stars. One was the greater that ruled the day. One was lesser that ruled the night. That is, the two great lights, the sun and the moon, were created on the fourth day. Then on the fifth day, birds and living things, and things living in water living creatures, water living beings were created. That is like fish, whale, etc. were created on the fifth day. On the fifth day of creation was fowls and birds and fish, etc. That is things living in water, living beings living in water on the fifth day. Then on the sixth day, God created as a small moving things, creepers, creatures creeping on the earth, and then wild and mild animals, and then man. Then he ordered man to take all the grains, fruits, and the meats of the birds, fish, etc. You take your food, and also you can have your domination over. It was the order given by God. This is the message, the Old Testament of the Bible, of Christianity tells us. See, this the concept, the idea of the Old Testament is totally against as scientific facts and common sense. Yet, it is being followed. Even today, it is being followed. So, a part, a part of the enlightened community is to give them life, to enlighten them. The part of the enlightened community is, the main part of the enlightened community is to enlighten these blind masses that is blindly following what is once some 2000 years before told. The myth, it is simply myth, nothing. You see, the belief regarding the origin of the universe and the living things, as said by the Old Testament, started its beginning some 600 years before Jesus Christ. That is in the 17th century BC. There is the concept of the belief expressed in the Old Testament started its origin some, 600 years before the birth of Jesus Christ. That is some 700 in the 17th BC. The Old Testament started its birth appearance in the 17th century BC. That is, this belief started its propagation some 2600 years ago. This belief started its propagation some 2600 years before. This belief was built on the understanding of the people lived on them. That is, this belief was built and understanding of the people lived then. The difference between the concept of the Old Testament and the scientific world of today would be well understood by the rational people of this day. The rational people of today would well understand the difference between the concept of the Old Testament and the scientific facts. Yes, people. So, rational people could well understand it, could well understand it. It is very painful to note that even today, billions of people have been molding themselves as per the concept of the Old Testament. Yes, even today, billions of people are, are molding their belief, are molding themselves according to the story, according to the concept of the Old Testament. When we are going to take them to the path of rational thinking from the blind holy thought of irrational belief, it is my question. When we are going to take them to the path of rational thinking from the blind belief of holy irrational thought, brother, blind belief of holy irrational thoughts. Yes, it is in the hands of the enlightened people who should take them, who should pay them the right way to understand themselves, to make use of the common sense. That that differentiates human being from other living beings. If you raise the question whether we go include it into the good old concept of creation, the answer is yes. Yes. If you raise the question whether we go include it into the good old concept of creation, yes, the answer is yes. We have included it. Yes. The voices against the concept of creation began their appearance in the beginning of 19th century. It is Ludwig von Feuerbach, Ludwig von Feuerbach, who first raised his voice against the concept of creation. He was an atheist. He curiously declared that God did not make us, but rather we made God as a figment of our imagination. He was followed by the world renowned rationalists like Karl Marx, who applied this theoretically, Sigmund Freud, who applied this psychologically, and Friedrich Nietzsche, who applied this philosophically, and so on. Yes, it is this. I mean, the concept of the Old Testament was vehemently opposed by most enlightened people. Yes, I mean, as Ludwig one, as Ludwig one says, it is not God who created us. It is not God who created us, but it is rather we created God as the figment of our imagination. Yes, Ludwig one, it declares it boldly. So, regarding the formation of the universe and living beings on the earth, again, by various kinds of evolutions. See, I have in my first speech, I have explained it clearly that the first explosion of the space started in, I mean, in 1370 crore years ago. That is 13.7 billion years ago. It is 1000, and I mean, 370 crore years before the first explosion, that is the black hole started. And after some 10,000, I mean, 1000 crore years, And after the first explosion of the with thousand crores of years of the first explosion, the universe came to existence. It is some for 450 crore years before the universe came to existence. And then some 80 80 crore years after, living beings started their origin on the earth. That is some 370 crore years before. Today, 370 crore years before, living things started their origin on the earth. And man emerged, evolved, and man evolved from monkeys some 3 lakhs years before. Man started to control to appear from monkey. That is, monkey started to evolve into a man some 3 lakhs years before. This is the scientific facts which have been explained well. That is what we are having in our hands today. So the concept of the Old Testament, that is the concept of the Bible, said by the Old Testament, not to be ignored. Yes, my dear students and teachers and elders, I am not against any religion. So, though I am an atheist, I am not against any religion. If it is your belief, okay. But whatever you believe, that should be based on common sense. If you are leading a well settled life, it is not because of anything else outside. It is because of your plan and your hard work. If you are suffering, it is not because of something else living outside human world. If you are suffering, it is because of you. It is because of your negligence. It is because of your idleness. So, for, for all ups and downs of a man, only he himself is responsible, not any others or any other beings. There is no extraordinary being in the world. So, okay, now let us see the uh, New Testament also. Let us see. It will take some more 5 minutes. See, New Testament, Matthew chapter 1. So I am taking it from the Gospels given by Matthew chapter 1. This is how the birth of Jesus Christ came about. His mother Mary was pledged to be married to Joseph. But before they came together, she was found to be with child through the Holy Spirit. Because Joseph, her husband, was a righteous man and did not want to expose her to public disgrace. He had in mind to divorce her quietly, but after he had considered this, and after he had considered this, an angel of the Lord, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. A virgin will be with child. A virgin will be with a child and will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. When Joseph woke up, he did what the angel of the Lord had commanded him and took Mary home as his wife. But he had no union with her until she gave birth to a son and gave him the name Jesus. Students, teachers, educationists, and elders, respected elders. What the New Testament tells us is it is it tells about the birth of Jesus Christ. The story is that is Mary, that Jesus' mother, got conceived before marriage. That is, Mary was engaged to Joseph, but before the engagement, she got conceived. It happened through a Holy Spirit. It tells us Matthew Gospel tells us before marriage, Mary was conceived. Yet the prophet of God told Joseph, it is the father of Jesus, told Joseph to take her because she was not immoral. She got conceived through a Holy Spirit. Don't mistake her. She would give birth a son. She would give birth to a son. Name him Jesus. It was the command given by God through his prophet. Then Emmanuel followed it. I mean, Joseph followed it. And Jesus came to earth. This is the main story of the New Testament. Dear students, dear elders, educationists, media teachers, in which way the concept of the New Testament is acceptable on the basis of science. In which way you can take it as a believable? Get that is, see, as far as myself is concerned, not only myself, but everything, every enlightened people is concerned. It is a myth that's all. It is that same story is going that we are going to see all the remaining, I mean, religions. That is Islam, Buddhism, and Hinduism. That we are going to see. So again, it is not my intention to degrade any religion, but wherever I mean unbelievable, irrational things were spoken of, wherever unbelievable, irrational things were spoken of, brought into light. It is the part of the enlightened people to oppose it and bring the facts to the light. So, Even in New Testament, the things have been narrated having myth as the base, which are totally contradiction of scientific facts. The concept of New Testament too has faced severe criticism. The four Gospels of the New Testament were composed by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They owe their books and the writings and belief existed then. Even here, there are many contradictions within their writings. It was brought forth by Karl Lachmann, who became the first scholar to publish a critical edition of the Greek New Testament 1831. That is the first man who voiced his, who voiced against the concept of New Testament is called Lachmann. He, I mean, he, um, he voiced his opposition in 1831. As the Old Testament, the New Testament is also relied on ideas which are against scientific truths and rational views. As the followers of Christianity spread throughout the world, now Christianity has established its base all over the world. But the concept that the Bible proposes regarding the origins of universe and living beings is entirely against the scientific facts. Whatever the religion you believe, whatever the religion you follow, or if you are a rationalist or an atheist, you should make use of your common sense to recognize material things and living beings on scientific facts. You should, right? So, whatever the religion you follow, that doesn't matter. Or if whether you are a rationalist or an atheist, that doesn't matter. But whoever you are, you should take things, material things and living things, on the basis of scientific facts. Otherwise, you would be leading a blind life as other living beings, ignorant of common sense. Otherwise, you will be living a blind life like other beings, ignorant of common sense. Let us use our sixth power meaningfully so that we would be useful both for ourselves and the society. My dear students, at the end I am. See, so far I have spoken about some the main concept of Christianity, both as proposed by the Old Testament and the New Testament. What they tell, what they tell us about the origin of the universe and the living beings on the earth are simply myth. They have done it on the basis of what they heard then, what they read then, on the basis they have done it. But we people living in 21st century, having the maximum use of science, scientific invention, and scientific discovery. So we should put aside myth or whatever your religion told you. Whatever your religion tells you, what told you or tells you, take what is believable and acceptable to science. If it is unscientific, simply ignore it. So make use of your common sense. It is enough. If you are, dear students, it is mainly for you, my dear students, my dear grandchildren. If if you want to get good marks in study, you should train. You should work hard. Then only you get good marks, both according to your brain and your heart. These two combinedly bring your success. Leaving that, if you go to, some church or temple or mosque or anything else, and pray that, oh God, give me marks. Let me come first. How it is possible? How it is possible? To come first, you should have the due brain coupled with hard work. This alone would bring great success. If you want to become a rich man, you should work hard and save money rightly. So, if you want fame and name, you should work for the society, ignoring your own welfare. Ignoring your own welfare, you should work for the welfare of the community, for the welfare of the society. Then only you will be earning fame and name. You can't purchase fame and name. So, nothing could be brought to you from any outside force. No outward force could bring you ups or downs. It is only you yourself could bring ups and downs. So, dear students, see, my main aim is making you believe yourself. You are the master yourself. You are the teacher yourself. You are the student yourself. You are the father yourself. You are the mother yourself. You are the brother yourself. You are the sister yourself. Everybody yourself. If you rightly employ your brain scientifically, you could move upward rightly, not up to the sky, but above the sky. You could fly. But what you have to do is you should build yourself. You should weigh the strength of your brain and the hard work you undertake. These are the facts which would decide your ups and downs. So I believe, as I, uh, as I think, it is my part to explain evolution, to explain my good grandchildren, particularly the fact of science, the fact of human life, on which human life is built upon. Don't believe useless things. Don't believe myths. Myth is nothing but a story, imaginary story. As Federico says, God did not create us, but we man, we man created God. Yes, from their life, they are telling us. It was told from, some 2000 years, 200 years before. It was told by Frederick in 1831, and so on. So, again, my target is my grandchildren, that is my students. believe yourself, respect honesty, respect virtue, and try your best to walk on the path of virtue. But definitely you could win the goal that you wish to achieve. It's okay. Respected elders, educationists, dear teachers, and dearest, my dear students, I thank all of you for listening to my second class recording uh, the origin of universe and living beings as told by the Christian books, that is told by Bible of the first, I mean, of the Old Testament and the New Testament. Explain what are the defects existing in both the Old Testament and the New Testament. So even of course, even you are a Christian. That doesn't matter. But take what you got to take from that. What are the creative things which have been given in Bible? Take in every religion. There are two parts. One is myth, another is creative. That is the morality. It starts in what? So you take the moral ways that your religion teaches you and ignore the myth, which is totally against the scientific facts. So, respected elders, dear students, teachers, and educationists, I thank all of you for listening to my class regarding the concept of creation, of regarding the origin of the universe and the living beings on the earth. As proposed by the Bible, I have spoken about that today. Thank you. Till I meet you in the next class, I wish all of you a very nice and sweet day. Thank you.